Yes, and
What a
we
win.
we are live. And welcome back to another episode of the Baseline Bums podcast. It's your host Rob,
Come on.
aka B-Ball Archives. And once again, I got the bum AJ up in the casa after an amazing comeback Spurs victory, 25 points to be exact. We came back and won against a Clippers team that I didn't think that we would need to come back that much to beat, but hey,
Yep.
a win's a win. Very satisfying win on this Friday night. What were you seeing out there, AJ?
Well, the first half, I was like, you know what? I don't think this is going to last. I was thinking the Clippers they're an old team. They're going to come back to reality at some point. There's no way Brook Lopez is going to continue to shoot the way he's shooting. He looked like prime Dirk out there, man. One-footed, like step back jumpers, three-pointers galore. I'm like, who is this guy? He's 39. He's older than Mitch. He played with Mitch Johnson at Stanford. Like that's who we were concerned with. And then everything kind of fell back into place in the third quarter. We started hitting shots, we started getting stops, and then we carried that momentum. And I think a big pillar of that and kind of our centerpiece was Carter Bryant, man. Carter Bryant just absolutely brought electricity into that building and got us over the hump, man.
Yeah, I think he did bring a lot of good physicality. There was a couple of plays where he was guarding Kawhi,
Yep.
and he brought some good physicality. Caught a couple of good oops, and anytime he dunks with that kind of ferocity, it's just
Mm-hmm.
going to get the crowd going. And so I do enjoy the Carter Bryant minutes we saw tonight. But I also think that there was just so much to like about various stretches of the game. You talked about that third quarter where we really started to kind of ramp things up.
Yep.
And a lot of that was Julian Champagny hitting some really big shots. So I just
Oh
want to
yeah.
want to shout out to, his floor spacing abilities, just going 5 for 8 for beyond the arc, 20 points, 9 rebounds for Julian Champagny, and I know he missed those two big free throws right there at the end, but he was also there
Got
to
the
get that.
rebound.
He was also there to get that rebound, baby. So,
If you screw it
um,
up, clean it up.
right. I mean, I would prefer one of our best shooters just nail those
Yes.
free throws. I mean,
84% free throw shooter should make one, if not both of those in that situation. 1000%.
absolutely, because it comes down to nerves at that point. But hey, there was a lot of other moments where we could have showed nervousness, and we did not. Hitting big threes, making really strong defensive efforts down low.
Absolutely.
Just a lot to like about how we closed out that game.
What'd you think about our adjustment in the second half? Because I noticed that we were moving, like whenever Kawhi would start attacking the basket, we would send him baseline and then kind of collapse and get the ball out of his hand from there. And if he was, took it back inside, then we were trying to force a tough shot for him. So what did you think about our adjustment going into that second half?
I loved it. I think it was mainly, hey, how can we force Kawhi to be a playmaker and be a facilitator, and how to get other people involved? And you talked about Brook Lopez and how he had that big first half. And I agree with you. It's we we knew he wasn't going to be able to do that. So it's just get the ball out of Kawhi's hands, whether that's double teaming him when he's trying to drive, and that's just a small high post pinch, something like that.
Yep.
And it's just getting the ball out of his hands, because at the end of the game, you saw when they need a bucket, it's just
Yep.
Kawhi, Kawhi, Kawhi.
Yep.
He's just backing you down. He's dribbling. He's not looking to facilitate at all. So when their offense is at the best, it's a lot of Kawhi in isolation. So
Yeah.
we were trying to limit a lot of that. So I loved that change, that swap by Mitch Johnson.
And what's great too is that even though Castle didn't have a great game offensively, he was still playing great defense and he was still making big plays, especially at the end of the game there. Again, he made that free throw, missed the free throw, but got his own rebound and made a layup, basically putting the game out of reach for them. And it's like, all right, like and this is the kind of win, Rob, that gets me really excited about being like not only just a Spurs fan, but like a Spurs fan with a team and like going into the playoffs. Like we didn't roll over, we didn't play dead. We stuck with the process, we trust the system, we continued to like going from like the first half to the second half. It's gonna sound simple, but we just made shots. Like we were getting decent looks in the first half, they just weren't going in. It looked like tired legs out there in that first half. And then once we kind of got into our rhythm, got into a good lather. Wimby was going to the bathroom and then hanging out. It looked like he was hanging out in the cave like Batman, like on the bike. He was just like, yeah, all right, here we go. So just getting back in like into that rhythm. And I think once we kind of got our legs under us in that second half, that's when we really started to come back. And I mean, looking at that second half, man, we just absolutely dominated them, man. It was phenomenal to watch. 20 points in the fourth quarter for the Clippers is absolutely locked down. I mean, that's impressive.
Oh yeah, we forced a lot of tough shots, and like we were saying earlier, we were forcing a lot of difficult passes from Kawhi, and trying to make Brook Lopez into a turnaround jump shooter, and there was times where that's not going to happen. He's too slow footed, and
Yeah.
yeah, their offense was always going to stagnate at some point. It's very nice to see that happen right at the end of the game when the Spurs needed it the most. And yeah, so many great performances tonight. I think we got to glaze Wemby once again.
Of
Um,
course.
every
Drop a stat
night.
line.
Absolutely. In only 22 minutes, 27 points, 10 rebounds. I know he went 11 for 21. That's a little bit less than Wemby standards, but
Sure.
you still had the 4 blocks, the 1
Yep.
steal, the only 1 turnover, even though he had the ball in his hands quite a bit. That's what you want to see. In 22
Yep.
minutes, that's masterful.
And also the how to just the presence of mind in that last sequence toward like last minute or two or so in the fourth quarter where he was closing out on Kawhi. Kawhi missed the shot. Fox gets the rebound, and he's already. I called offsides. I'm glad the refs didn't see that. I thought he was off the entire time. So I was like, all right, man, if you're not going to call it, then I'm not going to say nothing. But the way he was able to leak out there, get that easy dunk, and then just kind of carry that momentum, and like that was the biggest thing. Like Carter Bryant only had 5 points, but in those 5 points, he did so much. And then you could see Wimby was getting excited to see him. And then once he came back in the game, it was just like, it's time to ball. And I think Wimby lives for these kinds of moments and these kinds of games because it just solidifies once again how dominant he is as a player. And I don't care what Jokic is doing. I don't care what SGA is doing. Wimby's my MVP. You can't tell me otherwise. Like without Wimby, this team wouldn't go anywhere.
Yeah. We would be struggling to even be a mediocre defense without
Yeah.
Wemby, and we've been chilling a top 3 defense all year long, and it's really impressive what we're able to do and how other guys are just able to be more aggressive and press
Hmm.
up and be more uh just more point of attack style defenders because of Wemby's rim protecting presence. And
Yep.
you're seeing Devin Vassell press up, and we've been talking about Carter Bryant, but also Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle just really, really play aggressive physical defense because of what Wemby gives you in the back line. And um, absolutely, well, Wemby is the most impactful defender in Spurs history. I mean,
NBA history.
I think yeah, it's NBA history if I'm being brutally honest. But I also think that if he's going to be if his defense is going to impact winning in a way that Tim Duncan's did, then he's going to need to be doing this in a more efficient way in the postseason. And what I mean by that is your blocks are going to need to go up and your fouls are going to need to go down because that's what Tim Duncan did.
Yeah.
His rim protection got even more valuable while simultaneously being less of a liability by sending less people to the line. So you got big shoes to fill.
I mean, he has big feet, so
Yeah.
I like his chances. And what's great too is whenever you see Wimby, like especially when he's out in the perimeter, because you can see it a lot more clearly, you can hear him like and see him call out the defense and being like, "Hey Fox, come help," or "Hey, go down," or like he's being quarterback back there the entire time. And I think our communication kind of gets overlooked sometimes, and the way that all of our guys are able to communicate with each other in very split second moments like we talked about a couple weeks ago, our switching is still phenomenal. Being able to do that. And then that lineup we had towards the end of the third quarter, I think it was the end of the third quarter, when it was like Carter Bryant was playing the 5 against Brook Lopez. I mean, that's the kind of those are the kind of lineups that are gonna definitely win you some games in the playoffs.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think Carter Bryant is strong enough to be able to play a small ball five against some fives, maybe against Brooke Lopez, who's a little bit less mobile,
Right.
and you can kind of sit there and have a low center of gravity, and he's young and strong enough to be able to wall him off in most situations.
Yeah. It depends on the matchup for sure. But if we
Yes.
have someone like, honestly, if we play like someone like the Lakers, who if they're gonna put DeAndre Ayton out there, I'm comfortable with CB being more aggressive and being more energetic than DeAndre Ayton personally.
Oh yeah, but not Clint Capella. Clint Capella is that whole drama was so stupid.
It's all dumb. I've been rewatching Ballers lately, and man, it's just an episode of Ballers, to be honest with you. But
Yeah.
man, this was just a phenomenal game across the board. Like, I really want to highlight Carter Bryant because I really feel that he got us back into this game, and he only had 5 points. And when he was scoring these 5 points and making the plays that he was making, I could only think of one name. And I'm like, is Carter Bryant going to be like a Robert Ory type player where he's just going to be at the right spot at the right time and just making these random shots and doing these really, really cool things and, getting us back into games when we need him to score points? Like, is he going to have a 20-point game sometime in the second round kind of thing to win us a game? Like, that's the kind of guy that I'm so happy that he's getting these valuable minutes and being a part of that win and the comeback so he can look back and have that confidence. And then, I mean, I'm to the moon about this win right now. I can't get enough of it. I'm gonna keep smiling all night. I'm gonna go to sleep, wake up tomorrow, just happy as hell.
Absolutely. Well, you should. There's a lot to be excited about when you have a 25-point comeback win, and there was minutes where I was really just counting us out and saying, "Hey, let's just
Yeah,
pack it. Let's just pack it in and regroup and come back next game and try to come back out with some more energy." But at the same time, I'm so glad that the guys didn't share that same mindset,
yeah.
and there was large stretches of the game where we were able to rely on different people, and we haven't even mentioned the fourth quarter that De'Aaron Fox had.
Oh
I th-
yeah,
I think
absolutely.
I think that there was so much that we relied on him. It was off
Yep.
speed attacking, really, really clutch mid range shooting, getting to the rim with ease, and also hitting a really nice big time three. Even though he went 1 for 8 for beyond the arc, still that
Timely.
yes, it's when you score. So I feel like that was a moment where I feel good about getting those clutch minutes from De'Aaron Fox, even
Hmm.
though even though the clutch minutes haven't been super consistent. This is a night that we needed it.
Oh man, I really wanted him to hit that three on Kawhi. When he dropped Kawhi, I was like, oh, you gotta hit that shot. You have to hit that shot. I was like, oh, if you would have nailed that, that would have that roof would have blown out of the stadium. Uncle
Yep.
Dennis would have heard it in LA, that's for sure.
Oh
So
yeah.
I think the fact that De'Aaron Fox was able to get downhill as much as he was and be able to finish at the basket the way he was able to do so, aggressive. At times he did get caught, but we were able to pass out of that and get a good shot. So like I like his decision making right now. And I like his shot and his confidence and his connection and his relationship that he has with Wemby on the court makes me just so excited about not just only this year, but the years to come. And what's this team going to look like in 2 to 3 years when we start to like really, really gel and we have all these guys for, stretches at a time. So I think, this year is going to look great, but next year is going to look even better. And the year after that is going to look even more insane. Like this is crazy. Like this is crazy. Like Wimby was on a men's restriction and still had 27 points and 10
Yeah.
rebounds. Like wow. Wow.
Oh yeah. I mean, when you project this into the future, it's hard to even forecast what we're going to be able to do, but the offensive and defensive versatility from this team, especially on a night like tonight, just absolutely crazy, absolutely crazy. And I'm going to highlight this comment from Four Paws in the Grave.
Yeah.
Should CB get some power forward minutes? Absolutely, I think he should.
Yeah.
There's definitely some lineups that we play against where, let's say we're playing against OKC and they're playing J Dub at some power forward minutes
Sure.
With Chet at the five. Absolutely,
Yep.
we should. So I think that I can foresee us playing some really potent Western Conference opponents where, yes, I would want Carter Bryant in that lineup, at least for stretches during a
For sure.
in a playoff series, because we all know, some games foul trouble, but it's nice to have the option to be able to have really defensively versatile guys. So
And a rookie at that. Like to have him that versatile on defense, and he's able to make shots on offense, and he doesn't really put his head down when he messes up or has a turnover or anything like that. I think he's just has that mind of a goldfish, and I'm super excited to see his growth. And I mean, another guy we got to talk about is Julian Champagny. We kind of glazed over him just a little bit, but let's go back real quick because he had a great shooting night too. He had some really great shots. He kind of kept us in the game. I wouldn't say kept us in the game in the first half, but it didn't get out of hand more than what it was because of Julian Champagny, and he was able to come out in the second half too and make some big shots. Just like we said earlier, though, you got to make your free throws, man. Got to make your free throws.
yes, I mean that was what was giving me so much anxiety, is just the missed free throws at the end of the game. But when you hustle, get your own rebound, and same thing with Stephon Castle, you make your first free throw, then you miss, and then you get your own rebound, and that really nice finish at the game. That just, that fires me up, that we have the sense of urgency to go get those rebounds and
Yeah,
go create those second chance opportunities. But man, as a young team, I also just want to hit those free throws. So
you
once
have to.
again, yeah, once again, it's like it's a night where I love the win. I love
Mhm.
going 41% from three, but also 50% from the line is no bueno.
No,
I don't want to
but
see that
that's how you
anymore.
lose playoff games.
Yes,
That's how
if it's
you
a
lose
three,
playoff games.
yes, if it's a 3 4 point game against the Nuggets, we may lose that game, and it's all because we shit the bed on the free throw line, and that's, yeah, got to clean
Yeah,
that up.
1000%. And I mean, it's a contagious thing, right? So Julian Champagny misses two, Castle makes one, misses the next one. So like it's a contagious thing. So as long as we're making and we have someone making their free throws, like I think we'll be fine. But as soon as one misses, then two misses, and then three, then everyone starts to miss, and that's not going to be fun. Um, and also I need Dylan Harper to shoot better from free throws too. Like I you can't be in the 70s as our young point guard, but we'll get there. We'll get there. I'm confident that we will. Um, but going to the Clippers real quick. I mean, obviously Kawhi Leonard had a great game. Shot the ball, very well. Went 9 for 10 from through free throw too. But outside of that, I mean, if Brooke Lopez didn't have the half that he had, I think this game would have been a lot closer, and we would have blown him out. I mean, just completely blown him out. The Clippers don't really have anybody, and I think we kind of see the lack of leadership on that team for sure, because especially in that last like 2 minutes of the game when they you called a play during your timeout and then you turn the ball over because of a bonehead pass, and Nicholas Batum's not even in on the court. So you turn the ball over. I mean, granted, we got lucky, and thank God Mitch called that timeout. Otherwise, that ball would have gone the other way. So
Right.
it's just like I have no hope for this Clippers team. I mean, you guys spent a shit ton of money on a new stadium, and that's going to probably go nowhere. We found out today that there is a government whistleblower document that comes out that literally says to circumvent salary cap. So we'll see kind of where that goes with
Absolutely.
Pablo Torre.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's gonna just
So
be
this,
under that rock when we flip it over, and
yeah, man,
and
this Clippers
so
team's
but
going to
I'm
not go anywhere.
right, but I also feel like we played them at a time where they don't have their starting point guard.
Right, right.
Darius Garland creating offense for them looks way different, because we saw what they have to go to at the end of the game, where it's just
Yeah,
Kawhi isolation, dribbling the ball 8 to 10 times because he can't trust it going to anyone
yep,
else.
yep.
So I feel like, I would like to see what this team looks like fully healthy with a good ready to go Darius Garland, but at the same time, yeah, that doesn't change any of the Steve Ballmer aspiration bullshit where
Yeah,
we're bringing Kawhi in fraudulently, and that
yeah.
that
Well,
doesn't change anything.
and I mean, and what was interesting is I know at the beginning of the year we talked about kind of this Clipper teams a little bit, and the entire time I'm like, dude, this Clipper team is way too old to compete in 2026. And I think today is like a clear example of they're able to keep it close, have a have a lead going into halftime, but like those old legs, you get tired, your heart's not into it, and then by the fourth quarter when the crowd's into it, you have a 20-point outing, and that's the end of the game. So that's kind of my assessment of the Clippers, and we'll see what happens next year, and we'll see if Kawhi's even on the team next year.
Yeah, I think we're all gonna just sit back, eat our popcorn, and watch that situation unfold. But definitely have to highlight this comment from JTV. With this 25-point comeback win against the Clippers tonight, Spurs have clinched their first postseason appearance since 21-22 season.
Ooh, I like it.
Gotta love the official clinch. Yeah, absolutely. That's always a good feeling. Just knowing that we're gonna be playing playoff basketball, even though over the last month or two, we know that we're good enough to be a playoff team.
For sure.
It feels nice just to officially punch that ticket and make it official.
I will say I'm still a little concerned with our backup centerpiece. Like, I mean, obviously Luke Cornett is very serviceable, and I like what do I see, but man, just we look a lot different team without Wemby on the court. And if he's on a minutes restriction, we're gonna need a little more depth moving forward. I think that's something we'll address maybe in the draft or maybe just in free agency at some point. But in the offseason, we're gonna just gonna have to get just a better body and someone that can do a little more than Luke Cornett. I love Luke Cornett, don't get me wrong, but at times tonight, I saw that he was struggling just trying to get rebounds he was getting in the beginning of the season. So like, some of the putbacks or the layups, things like that, he wasn't making those tonight, and he hasn't been for the past few weeks like he was in the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think it was since that knee tweak, he just hasn't been moving as quickly. The defensive rotations have looked a little bit slow. Hasn't been having the kind of offensive rebound numbers we've seen. So I agree. It's like I I think unless we have fully healthy Luke Cornett, yeah, we're gonna need something a little bit extra in our front court. I'm hoping that's Mason Plumlee whenever we
Yeah,
get him back up to speed. I know that he's a better offensive hub than Luke Cornett.
right,
He's not a better rim protector than Luke Cornett, but when he gets into the game and he's at the high post, I know that we can pass him the ball and
right.
he's going to be able to find Devin Vassell at the free throw line extended wide open, or Julian Champagny in the corner,
Yep,
or Steph Castle cutting back door. He's going to be able to find
yep.
those reads very easily.
Plum dog millionaire. So
Absolutely. And dude, he's got a little bit of a handle. He's got a little bit of a
yeah,
bag.
he's no, we've seen it. We've seen it. He can do it. Like I'm very confident. I love that signing by us. I think that's a great signing. I think that just helps out just our depth a little more. But I do want to see us kind of go after someone in the offseason, whether that is in the draft or maybe just some G League guy that is 7 feet tall that can defend and maybe hit a 3-pointer every once in a while. So that's kind of what I'm looking for.
Absolutely. Yeah, just honestly somebody that can be that third front court option to where, one of these guys gets in foul trouble, one of these guys gets a little banged up in the postseason, we can just have that flexibility. Um, but yeah, there's a lot to like about our team right now. And if we're talking about the front court depth right now, it's like we're splitting hairs because we're
Yeah. Oh yeah.
playing such great basketball. But I gotta highlight some comments. Absolutely. Julian Champagny. Well, sorry, I clicked on the wrong comment, but no, this is the right comment. Carter Bryant, not a rookie anymore. He's growing fast. Calls him a defensive menace. Team does not beat Clippers without him. Absolutely. And
Yeah.
we were talking about it earlier. Like the 5 points does not speak to his impact out on the court. And we need that effort. We need the physicality. And he's just slowly but surely just not looking like a rookie anymore.
No, especially with his facial expression, like I felt like early in the season he just had that like baby face and like, oh my god, I'm in the NBA, like this is great, and he was fumbling the ball and shit, and now like he looks like he's finally like comfortable with being on the court with a Wimby, with the Fox, and in this offense, and he's like in a key part in hitting that 3-pointer at the top of the key And I mean, those types of situations that like you look at him and you're like, all right, like there's something there. And then you see him next to Dylan Harper and you're like, there's something there too. And that's awesome. And then you see Castro and you're like, he's only his second year. And then you look at Wemby and you're like, Wemby's only his third year. And like, you're seeing the building blocks and the trajectory. And if we're doing this now, like you're way ahead schedule. And I know that we're not going to skip steps, and championship talk has been kind of on a lot of these talking heads on ESPN and Fox and those people. But honestly, like I look at this team and you're not going to skip steps when you have a talent like Wemby and you have guys that have completely bought in. Like I feel this was a very much a playoff type atmosphere, playoff type game that you had to really grind out to come back and win. And if we're doing it now, like what's going to happen when the games really matter in April and May?
Yeah, well, we're just building that consistency so when the games start mattering like you're talking about, this kind of grind and this kind of physicality just isn't a surprise. And yeah, we're not shying away from a good challenge. I like the way that we're winning games. We're we're finding ways to win games with points in the paint, finding ways to win games by elite 3-point shooting, and also finding ways to win games when we've dug ourselves in a
Oh,
seemingly
yeah.
insurmountable hole. It's yeah, something that
And
we can be really proud of. But just want to highlight a couple of
70
comments.
points in the second half, man. 70 points in the second half.
And so much of that was De'Aaron Fox. Highlighting this comment real quick. Fox was crap in the first half, but so clutch in the second. Yes. And feel like that is why we're paying him a good amount of money. Be clutch in those clutch minutes. But not only him, also Julian Champagny stepping up
Yeah,
and
we're gonna have
and,
to
and
either
hitting.
pay him or let him
Yeah.
go, man. That's gonna be a tough one.
I mean, he's gonna be requiring, 10-15 million dollars a year, and we're not gonna be able to get him on that super, friendly $3 million a year or whatever we have him right now. And so
Yeah,
it'll be rough, but at the same time, I think what he does for our floor spacing, as well as being our team's second best defensive rebounder, like
yeah,
he low key is our team's second best defensive rebounder. And yeah, we really need to make sure that Julian Champagny stays with the Spurs.
yeah,
It's
man.
yeah.
I agree. And I mean, looking at some of these box scores real quick and seeing that offensive rebounds, we have 15, they had 7. I think that's the game. Like that's a lot of that game. And those offensive rebounds came at really clutch times. I mean, we're talking what 2, 3 in the final 2 minutes right there. So if those go the other way, we may not be so happy right now. We might be going, we had a chance, but we didn't finish it out. And this is a type of game that a young team turns into a mature team. And with that transition, I don't know if we've really seen it in the NBA, like regular season in the NBA. So that's why a lot of these people are like, I don't know about these Spurs, but maybe this is the new norm. Maybe this is what it comes down to. And we don't need an off season and heartbreak to go through it. I don't want to be heartbroken, man. It's really hard at 5'4" to date. And I've been heartbroken so many times because they're like, I'm sorry, you're not 6 foot. And I'm like, I'm sorry, you're not an 8. So, that's the kind of things that I just don't want to deal with here in 2026.
Absolutely. I would know nothing about that, but
No,
at
you
the same
wouldn't, would you?
but at the same time, yeah, the Spurs are certainly not struggling. And I think that we have a lot to be excited about. And I want to highlight this comment from JTV because this is hilarious. Big shout out to Harrison Barnes. If it wasn't for his nap, we wouldn't be seeing the CB
That's
minutes.
a good point.
Absolutely. Yeah, just straight up very mysterious ankle swelling, ankle injury.
Yeah,
Um
we're gonna have to amputate that thing or what?
I don't know. I was just, we had to look in. I was looking into it. Footballer's ankle is what it's called. It's very common soccer injury, and
He
you
likes
know,
soccer.
I yeah, I don't know. I mean, it really just comes from just extended use, just overuse. So just like, I mean, no way a guy like Harrison Barnes who doesn't sit out games. It's like I wonder what caused it. It's like,
Right.
oh.
No, what's funny is that like it'd be funny if he like was hurt. Thanks, appreciate it. It'd be funny if he was hurt And he was really like in Europe, like going to all these soccer matches, and they're like, dude, we're gonna make it funny and be like, we're gonna call it the footballer's ankle, but we're gonna give it the real name so people don't really know about it. And he's over there watching like Arsenal and Chelsea and all those people, like, oh yeah, just hanging out. And it's like, who's that guy? I was like, I don't worry about it. But I mean, I hope we see him back soon. I hope it's a legit ankle injury and it's not some kind of crazy, like, him and Mitch got into it because he's not getting minutes anymore or whatever the case may be. But he's not even on the bench, and that's a little concerning for me.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what's going on with the him not being on the bench, but I'm not gonna read into it because he's never been like a locker room cancer kind of guy
Yeah,
that's
I'm
like
not either.
that's trying to fight with the coach, and especially a guy like Mitch who's fairly level-headed and not really a get in your face kind of guy. So I'm hoping it's just they're just really wanting Unk to stay home and rest, and you know we don't need you standing up and cheering.
Yeah.
You can just cheer from your bed with your ankle propped up. So if you do nap again and hurt your ankle, you can be ready to go to recover.
That's why,
But
like, I have so many questions about Harrison Barnes. Maybe we can get him on the podcast and find out the real cheese behind it. But I'm just like, dude, did you wake up from your nap and your ankle hurts? Like,
I don't
how'd you
know.
sleep? Did you just sleep with your ankle like this, or I don't know what happened, but I
That's
guess
the
we don't
that's the
really.
most that is the most regular ass person thing I've ever heard. It's just
Have you ever
getting
woken up from a nap with your ankles hurting? I've never done that.
I've woke up, like, with, like, my neck, like, in, like a because I slept in a weird spot, so,
Sure.
like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
woke up, like, my neck or, like, my back or something like that, but, like, it's never a messed up ankle, but, I don't know. I'm not a professional athlete.
Nope. Neither
Um,
am I. Maybe one
Absolutely
day.
not.
I
Yeah,
think this is my growth spurt year. I'm calling it.
yeah, absolutely. Um Yeah, but yeah, there was a few other things I wanted to get to, just about the game and kinda how we closed out things. Wemby playing defense on DJ or, Derrick Jones Jr. right there at the end whenever he was going to the basket. I think just moving forward, I want to see Wemby hard foul. Like, I know that, he's going to gamble on his defensive abilities, and I don't blame him for doing so because he's always
Sure.
gonna think, "Why can't I get that block?" And you know
Yep.
what? Go ahead and think that because
Yep.
you're the best rim protector on planet Earth. So go ahead and think that. But I think at that specific time, I just want you to foul so he doesn't have a chance to get that and one. And
Yeah.
it ended up being a ticky tack foul. He made the layup, and fortunately, he missed the free throw. So it didn't end up being a big deal. But at the same time, that's just one of those things where it could have been very preventable just with a really hard foul.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that was a weird defensive like play too, all around. Like it seemed like we weren't prepared or they caught us looking or something to that effect because Wimby was kind of caught in no man's land. So we had to commit the foul, but I'm 100% with you too. Grab the wrist, don't let that ball go up higher than your shoulders.
Absolutely. Yes. Could not agree more. We were caught, yeah, a little bit kind of out of position on that, but we did recover and still played pretty good defense, all things considered. But yes, panicked. Great comment. Was that Mitch timeout the most clutch thing ever? What a great timeout. He's had a couple of very, very solid timeouts over the last couple of
Yeah.
games. And not only this clutch timeout, but that pop timeout that
Yep.
he had last game where he kind of just reorganized the guys and kind of got us in a better mindset. So I think what we're seeing from Mitch is he's kind of blossoming into his own as a coach and figuring out ways he can assert himself, change up the rotation, and kind of shift the momentum with his coaching.
Yeah, absolutely. And it makes me wonder if he has one of those like time rings or watches where like he can go back 15 seconds into time because like how is he going to know that we were going to get an offensive foul called potentially on us and it was going to be reviewed, and he was like, you know what, just hit that back real quick and timeout. So it was it was great timing, and whatever he saw was exactly. I don't know what he saw whenever he was making that timeout, but he saw it, and I'm glad that Castle kind of like pump faked a little bit to kind of give him that extra timeout, and so you get that camera shot of him like actually doing it with the ball still in his hand. So you're like, all right, even if they were to review it, we're good, good shape, and we're gonna get this timeout. But damn, dude, Devin Vassell almost did that shit again. In that next play, he still pushed off. And it's like, dude, would you not learn?
I'm like, dude, if you're going to create space like that, don't extend your arms.
Yeah,
Just like little nudge, little something, but like don't extend your arms. You're
yeah.
making it too obvious for the refs to make that call.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Yeah, but just a couple of very high stress moments at the end of that game. But if you're coming back from a 25-point deficit, it's always going to be a bit stressful. So I could not be more proud of the guys tonight, especially after a first half where,
Booty 'em.
we're down 20 points. Our shooting splits at half, 38% from the or sorry, 38% from the field, 30% from 3, 48% from the line. 38, 30, 48 shooting splits. That is just like
That's
holy
I think
shit.
you and I might have a better percentage.
Oh, yes. I mean, I know I'd shoot way better from free throw, but goddamn, that's like
Yeah.
that's atrocious.
Yeah, man. And like I said, like at the beginning of this podcast, we were getting good looks. Like they weren't bad looks. It was not like Fox was hitting this crazy step back 3-pointer. No, feet were set. Great look, just weren't going in. And then you couple that with Brooke Lopez having a career night, resurgence kind of night. And, that's not going to lead to a lot of good things in the first half, but you regroup. Everyone kind of goes back to the median and you kind of see kind of what's going on. But my biggest thing too is just that we didn't lose this is another game where we didn't lose faith and we didn't stop believing in the process. Like this is another one of those games where we just kind of trusted everything around us. We trusted Miss Johnson and we're able to go from here to here to here to here, and we got the win, and we're able to come back. So, like, just all these wins that we're piling up of just the confidence and believing in ourselves and not giving up, and basically having the same mentality as our star player in Wemby, the ultimate competitor.
Right. And we've talked about it multiple times. That could end up being the X factor is the competitive nature from Wemby and his ability to kind of get everyone lifted up and playing a higher level of basketball. I want to highlight this comment. Do you see a player that Bryant has a potential to be like that you could compare him to past or present? I mean, I hate to make this comparison, but we saw the other guy tonight in Kawhi Leonard. I see a lot of what Carter Bryant could be in Kawhi when I think of big, strong wing defender, a guy that can turn himself into a really, really stable shooter. I think that we haven't even seen the beginning of what he can
Yeah.
blossom into as an offensive player. So I think that he could continue to take more and more steps on that end while being a defensive lockdown guy. Will he be a defensive player of the year like Kawhi? I don't know. I think it's way too early to see, but I think when I look at his career and what he could be, if he could be like a mini version of Kawhi where he goes out there offensively capable, can shut down multiple positions with his strength and his length, has a great wingspan as well. I mean, obviously his hands aren't as big as Kawhi's and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But
No one's are.
right, really no one's are, but it's tough to really find a good comparison outside of Kawhi because Carter Bryant has a lot of intangibles and a lot of good skill
Yeah.
sets.
Absolutely. I still think he just reminds me of like a young Robert Ory, like Houston Rockets Robert Ory, where super athletic coming out of college. He can hit shots, he can defend. And I think just watching what I saw tonight and basing on what I've seen this season, I think he has a clutch gene in him somewhere. I don't know what exactly that looks like because we've only seen, so many games this year of him, but I feel like he has a clutch gene in him that we could call on at any point within the next few weeks and few months, potentially maybe not even this year, maybe next year, maybe the year after, but I think he's going to win us a game because of his clutch shooting and with his clutch defense. So I look at that and he just reminds me of a Robert Ory, smart everywhere. Just hope he doesn't have the post career that Robert Ory has, and he says a lot of really good things about San Antonio when he retires.
Gosh. Robert Ory is an ass for all the shit he
Yeah,
says
man.
about San Antonio. But that is a good comparison. I like that. And there's times where I see his transition defense and I see glimpses of Scottie Pippen.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, like that was a really good, impactful, smart defensive play where he showcased a lot of athleticism, but didn't overextend himself and kind of,
Yep.
put himself in a compromising state. So like I view Scotty is able to do that a lot as well. So just yeah, a lot of really good traits that Carter Bryant possesses, and man, we could glaze him all day long with
I,
these comparisons.
I will even throw out a random comparison, not necessarily offensively like this guy, but athleticism wise, very similar to like a Darius Miles. Like just athletic, like jump out of the building, but he's like he can get you 15 points if you need him to. But obviously, Darius Miles was playing for the Clippers and he was shooting like 30 shots a game. It was ugly.
Yeah,
But
he had a whole unique situation.
but basically what I'm getting at is his absolute athleticism, because you see it with Carter Bryant, like the alley oop he caught tonight. Like, dude, he got up to the top of the box and threw it down, man. It was beautiful to watch. It was beautiful to watch.
Absolutely. That athleticism will always have your jaw on the ground. But yeah, Tatum-esque, that might be interesting,
Oh,
but at the
shout out
same
to
time,
Jason Tatum
no, I
coming
mean,
back tonight.
yeah, he did come back tonight. Just very interesting. 10 months removed from the league, already coming back after a torn Achilles. That's absolutely crazy. But I don't know if I would want Carter Bryant to be that isolation focused in terms of offense. So I think I like the idea of him having skill sets like Jason Tatum, but I don't want him to play anything like Jason Tatum.
Yeah. And shout out to him for coming back today. I watched that game before our game, and it looks like he's playing October basketball at times. He's still not quite there. He had himself a pretty nice game for kind of what it is, but you're also going against a Mavs team that isn't really playing for much. They're still at the bottom of the league. They're not really kind of fighting for a playoff spot at this point. So, I kind of take that with a grain of salt, but it's still a really good game for him to come back to.
Oh yeah, well, and he ended up playing 27 minutes. That was more than I thought he was going to play. I could have
Hmm.
swore it was going to be like a 17, 18 minutes Jason Tatum
Sure.
kind of outing, but they already threw him in there and played him more than some of the other starters, and this is a team that I was already viewing as the team to beat out east with
Yeah,
with how well they're playing. And I know Detroit is up there. I know Knicks have given us some trouble as well, and Cavs with James Harden are very interesting as well. So but I view this team with Jason Tatum, this is the
of
team
course.
to beat out east.
Of course. No, absolutely. So
Eh,
I'm I'm pretty excited, man. I'm pretty excited where this thing goes. Um just I'm happy with this team, man. Just really
yeah.
happy to this team. Looking forward. Who do we got next?
We have the Rockets on Sunday, so,
Gross.
we got the day off tomorrow, and then we will have the Rockets at home, so that's gonna be very interesting, and then we're gonna have the Celtics, who we were just talking about. We're gonna play them at home on Tuesday, and then we're gonna have round ball here. We're gonna have
Oh
round
yeah, we're
ball.
gonna have Rambo on the podcast talking about the Celtics, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
He's gonna join us for that post-game episode. Always love Austin from Round Ball Renaissance. If you are not
Rambo
following,
Renaissance, man.
yes,
Great
if you're
follow. He's a great follow. Rambo Renaissance did the most unique thing I've ever seen done on social media. Um, Shout out to Austin with Round Ball Renaissance, like we've been saying. He actually watched a game from every single conference in college basketball this year. And I am really, really excited to talk to him a little bit about that, because I'm really curious to see kind of what he saw. And if he doesn't have a perfect bracket, then he wasted his damn time.
We know how hard it is to get a perfect bracket. We've had near perfect brackets before, so
Yeah, of
it's
course.
it's this is definitely our territory. But yeah, it's so hard to predict anything March Madness related. But yeah, we have a lot of interesting games coming up, and just looking past that Celtics game, then we have the Nuggets on Thursday, followed by a Hornets team
Red
Saturday
hot Hornets
afternoon.
team.
Yes, absolutely. Red hot Hornets team who gave us trouble earlier on in the year. So definitely want to get that W. Um,
Like
but
I said
yeah,
last night, I want Dylan Harper to have like a 30-point game so we can shut all those people up. We're like, we still got conk nipple.
I mean, it's like it's all just hypotheticals. Why can't we just let these two amazing rookies just have their seasons for their teams and just be like, hey, they're both playing really, really well, and
Because both things can't be true, Rob.
we can't have nice things at two different places at the same time. We can't. Oh my goodness. But dude, I think that's a pretty solid breakdown. Do you happen to have a blind rank for me?
I do. I do. And I'm really excited about this one. I don't know why. I find this one a little fun, a little hee hee, a little ha ha, because we played the Clippers and they've gone through this little, circumventing the salary cap because allegedly they're planting trees for the environment. Um, I'm going to ask you, Rob, we're going to blind rank tree species.
All right. Let me yeah, I am a tree expert. You know this. You know this. I took horticulture at Tech.
So, honestly, I couldn't really think of anything much more fun than this one. I was like, you know what? There's a lot of trees out there. Let's test Rob's knowledge and see how we do this thing.
Let's
So we're
fucking
gonna
do it.
start with a classic, Rob, a classic. We're gonna start with a Christmas tree.
Oh, Christmas tree. Oh, Christmas tree. Yeah. Um, it
Silverado bells.
it's Christmas time in a Chevy. Yeah, that's free promotion right there for Chevy. I don't know if I can do that. But I gotta say, Christmas tree is gonna be up there. Um, Probably the only tree on this list you're gonna have to decorate. So there's that. So I'm gonna go ahead and say two. Christmas
Two.
tree at two.
Christmas tree too. I like it. All right. We're gonna go a little tropical. Let's go coconut tree.
Oh, this is easy for me. I hate coconut.
Oh,
I
perfect.
I I literally can't stand the flavor of coconut. I Even if I was on a deserted island, I would have to still like stifle my like the smell of coconut, the feel of coconut. Like I would have to be like, dude, I'll die if I don't eat this coconut. I'm gonna eat the coconut.
Yeah.
So
All right.
five.
5.
What if I was like, that being said, one? I'm gonna put it out. Yeah.
Well, let's go to our friends up north.
Oh, wait, sorry. You froze for a second, my dude. I think your internet might be lagging. I didn't hear your question.
Maple tree.
Oh, maple tree. Oh, okay. Maple. Oh my goodness.
Also,
Man,
maple tree leaves, their leaves are like they're enormous, man. They're pretty cool.
dude, when I was in Vancouver, I had some delicious maple syrup. So I gotta give that three.
Is Vancouver the city of syrup?
I do know they bang screw.
All right, man. Because it's South Texas, I gotta go cedar tree.
Oh man, cedar tree number one. Dude, nothing gives me allergies quite like a cedar tree. Just a sure always a sure way to keep me just itching my eyes, nose runny, just having a bad time out there. Cedar tree is the goat. So number one, cedar tree.
Cedar tree 1, Christmas tree 2, maple tree 3, That leaves your 4 open and coconut as 5. So your 4 is going to be your Japanese cherry blossom.
I feel like I hoed myself because Japanese cherry blossom is gorgeous and it's definitely a bucket list item that I want to see. But you know
But
what?
man, they fall, it's everywhere, dog.
Yeah, I can imagine that's just a nuisance. But you know what? I have to live with my decisions. I got to live with those decisions. So cherry blossoms at 4, I guess.
Let's go. Thank you for playing the tree. The
I
tree
thought that
blind ring. Not my best work, I'm not gonna lie, but still, when
not
you
not bad though.
planting yeah, when you're planting trees for the environment, you're gonna circumvent the NBA salary cap while you do it.
I thought you were gonna hit me with the invisible tree that Kawhi planted.
That would have been a good one.
Just like the oh psych, I didn't plant shit. Good lord. Just that whole nonsense.
He's like, it's a
Absolutely incredible.
snowball. I still like those Kawhi Leonard HEB commercials.
Oh yes. Absolutely. You're part bear.
Opa.
Indubitably. Uh, but my friend, we have to segue into some dunks. Just talking about the Clippers being complete morons and the aspiration stuff. This is like a perfect segue into some dunky dunks, my dude.
Yeah, man, what you got?
I got like a couple of little dunks. I think we have to dunk on Dylan Brooks. Like we have to just mention
Did you
dumbass.
watch the video?
I saw some of it. I don't know if that was the full video or not, but
Yeah.
just like
The whole situation's wild.
just so dumb. Like the moral of the story here is if you get paid tens of millions of dollars, just have a
Yes.
driver.
Yep.
Have somebody to drive you around when you're shit faced and doing your dumb shenanigans. Just have a driver.
He blew zeros and they still gave him a DUI because they said his car smelled like a dispensary, but weed's legal in Arizona. So it's like, we'll see kind of how this whole thing plays out. But I mean, you also you can't put yourself in that situation.
Well, and it was, a DUI and not
Yeah.
DWI. That is an important distinction because
Yeah. Yeah.
he
Yeah.
wasn't driving while intoxicated. They were just assumed he was under the influence. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good important distinction. But still, you're in
Another mess Adam Silver is going to clean up.
you're in the headlines for the wrong reasons, my guy.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's a little small dunk, but then I also have to dunk on Miss Vicky's chips.
Oh, okay.
I love these chips. These are delicious chips. Very, very
Very familiar.
crispy,
Absolutely.
nostalgic because they had them at Bum Doodlers. Like very,
Yeah.
very nostalgic. But they have a massive 6-state recall, and
Oh, that's not good.
some of the chips have been described as life-threatening. And they have like there's like a milk additive
Oh
protein that is
shit.
like giving people allergic reactions, and they're in some of their new flavors like the spicy dill and like a couple other flavors. So like I got to dunk on Miss Vicky's for like kind of
Miss Vicky, what the fuck, dude?
dude, I trusted you and now I feel like you're coming for me. Like like you're trying to off me. I was eating spicy dill chips and now I'm fearing for my life, Miss Vicky. You're trying to come for my neck, so I got to dunk on you.
Dude, great. Yeah, that's terrifying. For me, I'm gonna dunk on Kawhi Leonard's shirt tail. My God, dude, tuck that shit in. Like I every time he plays, like it looks like it's so long, and it's like how does it come out of your shorts so much? Like I don't understand. Tuck your shirt in or give him a technical foul. But really, you know what I'm gonna dunk on, Rob? And I don't want to cross too many lines here, but I'm gonna dunk on that college roundtable that happened today because they invited literally everybody. I mean, they invited like 40 people. Like, we're gonna have a discussion, and like I think they counted like 60% of the people didn't talk, and Adam Silver was there, and he was one of the ones that didn't say shit. So like, hey man, what are we doing here? And then also like I guess Trump's talking about maybe going back to the old school college football ways, and Cody Campbell's there, who's the big donor at Texas Tech. And I'm like, hey man, we have a pretty big advantage right now. Let's not give everyone the secret recipe at this point. So I don't know what we're doing with this roundtable and what's going to happen with college sports, but hopefully they just kind of got together as a photo op and it's all going to go back to normal. No one's going to say anything because Tech has a lot of money to spend this year, and I want to continue to win big games. So dunk on that because it was kind of a waste of time.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know exactly where college sports in general goes from here, but it doesn't seem like it's gonna be anywhere productive anytime soon. Like I
No,
just I just don't I don't see how there's a clear, structure after this Wild West scenario that has been introduced. It's just
yeah, you can I think the best way to do it is you can do similar to what they do in the Premier League, and the money coming in or the revenue coming in is how much you can spend. And like I think that might be just a kind of a good baseline and kind of and judge it from there. But I mean, you got to find a happy medium, but also at the same time, like for a Texas Tech fan, I'm like, I don't want this thing to get fixed at all.
no. I wanna be able to throw money at problems and then those problems go away.
And they turn into wins and championships and trophies.
Yep.
And I buy t-shirts and hats that say champions on it. That's what I want.
Yep. That's what I want too, my friend. In a perfect world, that'll happen. It'll keep happening.
100%.
Um, but yeah, that's a solid dunk, my dude. Definitely some head scratching stuff happening with that meeting.
Wasn't even a round table, it was a rectangle.
Right, yeah. It's how you gonna have a roundtable discussion when we're not even paying respect to the shapes. Jeez. Uh
That's all I know about politics.
Absolutely. Great dunk, my friend. But everyone, if you are still in here after those high quality dunks, after that fun blind rank where we talked about some awesome trees, after that after that Spurs breakdown where we dominated the Clippers in a nice comeback win, I'm going to say dominate because that second half was absolute domination.
I
Um,
agree.
if you're still here after all of that, then we appreciate you. We not only love you, but we love you hard over here.
Hard.
All of this is brought to you by Love You Hard TV and the wonderful people over at the In the Building podcast. Mike, Rudy, Jose. Make sure you're following In the Building and Love You Hard TV, but make sure you're also following us over here at the Baseline Bums. We got a lot of exciting stuff going on in the future. Not only are we going live after every single Spurs game, but we're dropping a lot of really fun content on the side as well. So make sure you're following along for all of that, whether it's the lives here on YouTube, the clips on TikTok, Instagram, the audios on Apple Podcasts. So go check it out over there.
Yep.
AJ's blowing up things on the Twitter. So make sure you're following along over there. Every single place you can go follow the bums. We got some unique content everywhere. And we want you guys to be a part of it because you guys are the community. This community literally would not be the same without you. We love getting on here, especially when it's come from behind Spurs victories.
Woo!
That's literally the most exciting shit ever. But even if it was a Spurs loss, we would still be on here talking to you guys because you guys make this community special. But that being said, we're going to hop off here and end this episode the same way we end all episodes. And that's with a
Go
go
Spurs.
Spurs go.
Go. Bring back the silver dancers.
Oh, yeah.